Hi, I'm Emily Carroll, an environmental studies student from the University of St. Thomas. The first video I made about the Anthropocene addressed what it was like living in it, and how we are influencing nature. The Anthropocene Multiple Angles video will address 3 different viewpoints of what we should do in this new era from the book After Preservation, Saving American Nature in the Age of Humans. The first article, Too Big for Nature by Earl Ellis, focuses on the Anthropocene as our new normal and how we need to do the best we can with what we have. We need to become engineers and use what we're already using, but better. This might seem contradictory to the idea of fixing the Anthropocene because the Anthropocene stresses how we are degrading and influencing everything, and now he's suggesting we need to do more. But what he is saying is that since we have already degraded parts of the land, we need to get more out of it. Engineer new ways of getting more from places we have already tampered with, but do it in a way that is more productive and efficient. The next article, Humility in the Anthropocene by Emma Maris, stresses the importance of gardening, which is the idea of shaping and managing nature. We can learn how to consciously control nature, but it is arrogant to suggest that we can dominate it. It won't be all natural in the pristine, untouched sense, but it allows for species to continue living, spread out, and do it in an organized and managed way. Maris also stresses the idea of saving species. We need to take a biocentric approach to saving species in that the world isn't all about us. We don't get to determine the value of what species should stay and which should go. All species have inherent worth, and it's about time we start putting them before ourselves. They don't care if they get moved or have to be fenced in as long as they get to live. Not sure exactly if I agree with this statement because she basically is saying that conservation-reliant species don't care if they're fenced in as long as they get to live, but I think quality of life would also come into play here. But either way, it's her opinion, not mine. In her eyes, it shouldn't matter whether we're good people or why we're doing it, but we have to do it because we are ethically obligated to, and because maybe we can learn something by intervening. We need to make substantial sacrifices and do scientific research to find the root of these problems. Similar to the other 2 authors, Dave Foreman in his article, The Anthropocene and Ozymandias, is very direct in how he feels about the Anthropocene. He emphasizes many misconceptions about the Anthropocene. For example, he addresses how degradation has been going on for the past 100 years, and it isn't a new discovery, but what he calls the Anthropoceniacs are treating it as such. Environmental degradation has been grossly over-exaggerated in terms of time scale, and the degree to which we can control Earth has been as well. The Anthropoceniacs fail to recognize the disaster we have created. Instead of this degradation bringing sadness and grief, it is becoming a time of celebration where we are acknowledging our supposed domination of the earth. What people fail to realize is that wildlife didn't go extinct. We slaughtered it. Why do we get to decide who lives and who dies? It's out of arrogance. We need to try and protect wilderness, which the Anthropoceniacs think we don't have any of, because they don't know the definition and probably have never spent time in the wilderness. Either way, wilderness has inherent worth and deserves protection. Anthropoceniacs think we have finally conquered all and can control our fate, but in reality, we just happen to be. We don't get to play God. We can influence nature, but we can't control it. We won't last forever, and we will come and go just like every other species on this planet. You're probably wondering what my stance is, and to tell you the truth, I don't really know. I think all 3 authors acknowledge the problem, and they just have different ideas on how to fix it, and I agree with bits and pieces of all of them. But this is where a lot of the conflicts come into play when addressing environmental issues. Everyone has a solution, but what is the right one? I have no idea. There are always many differing viewpoints, and with society constantly changing, we don't really know what is going to happen. But there are things we can do to create a better tomorrow. We just have to do something, and only time will tell what's to come.